of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we praise you that we could hear from Lila students, and we just thank you about how it all came about. We would be correct. And we ask and we praise you for all of us. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Well, let's see. I'm going to move this back a little bit. And we'll see if we can get both Rachel. Now I've lost you there.
Oh, and just
If you tilt it a little more, you'll probably get them both.
Down or up?
Can we turn
sideways.
it horizontal?
Away from Cliff. Yeah,
Away
give
from Cliff.
it horizontal.
I'm going to turn it horizontal here.
Oh, that'll help, sure. There we go.
water, coffee.
That way?
Water,
Actually,
I see you and Rachel now.
just move just a little down.
I shall return, guys. I promise.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
I
That helped a lot.
Is that good?
That's very good.
Okay.
I can hear you guys so much better this time, too. Hey, Brian.
That's good. It's a different
Hi,
iPad.
Seeing if I have enough room to take your guys' order.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. Need 7.
Thank you. I'm gonna go grab another book.
Okay.
Okay. It's been busy this week, guys. I'm dying.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So I want to thank Leonard for his tutorial this morning,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
and thank Rachel for coming today. Both Rachel and I have tried to get a hold of Jessica, and she hasn't gotten back to us, so maybe we'll wait till school starts and try to get her to come on a school day. Why don't we have our secretary's report and then our treasurer's report?
We have no secretary's report because last week we didn't do a meeting because we were listening to Katie's adventures last week.
Treasurer's report?
Original account is $1,624.71 plus undeposited dues, flags. Our CAN account is $3,191.86. And our scholarship account officially is $996.80. Unofficially, it's probably 0.
And Katie and Greg and I will do the final report, which is due to the district. This week I did get a listing from Katie regarding the clubs that she visited, the presentations that she made, the volunteer hours and where she did her volunteer hours, and then some information about the Rotary Club that she had joined there. So her information has been compiled and ready to submit. When Greg gets back from Germany, and Greg and I can sit down and finish up the financial reports for that grant. About 2/3 of that final report was completed in June, so it's just the last couple of months.
Are you going to need the global scholarship check statements after that
I'll need,
after the time you copied all of them?
yes. Okay.
Okay, and I'm not sure I got the statements back that you copied. I'm not finding it on that briefcase here.
Really?
So I'll keep looking.
Okay, and then
I'm
I'll
not sure,
check.
I'm not sure I've got those originals back.
Okay.
And the other thing is, apparently, you never cashed the check that I gave you for seed money for Heritage Days for $300.
Right, just void that, because when I went to get the money, the bank had closed, and so I just wrote a check for cash out of my account and then just reimbursed myself, so you can void that check.
Okay.
Leonard, we're talking about our financials, and we're discussing Katie's Global Scholarship Final Report.
Uh-huh.
That when Greg gets back, I'll sit down with him, and then Doc Dahl will furnish the checking account reports, the monthly checking account for her scholarship.
Good.
You have any questions about that, Leonard?
I saw that email too. It looks great. She did a great job, didn't she?
She did, she did. It seemed to me like she did more than what one person could humanly do, but
Yeah,
she got
that's
it
her
done.
nature.
Is there any old business that we need to talk about? I guess we should touch on the cans and how that is going.
Can I go back then to the treasurer's report?
I'm sorry.
If we go back and if we point that.
Sorry, Leonard, you're just gonna see my face.
You haven't taken orders yet, have you?
If we void that check, then our balance is, in the original account is $1,924.71.
Yes. Thank you. And let's see, Doc Dahl, did you take the cans over recently?
No. Well, define recently.
The last couple of weeks?
You want your regular?
Yeah.
Western, overseas, toast, no green peppers?
On the 7th?
Wheat toast.
And we got $526.
Should I get you this time?
No.
You want your regular chicken salad? And is it time to go again then?
They are backed up so far that when I scheduled the next time, they could not give me an appointment until the 29th. They only load on Tuesday. They only unload trailers on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and the 29th was their first goal.
Kind of special day?
And then, so I made a second appointment for the middle of September. I figured we would, we're backed up so far that we would need at least two. One egg or wheat toast and jelly.
Did you hear any of that, Leonard?
Yeah, I got enough of it.
Yeah, he did.
Getting better.
I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Does he turn up at all? I say it's hard to hear him.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
They're talking about cans and that they can't get in to do a load until when? September?
August 29th.
August 29th.
Yeah, well, good for them.
But they're way behind, so there's an awful lot of cans.
Oh,
The company in Spencer has taken on more recycling, because I think one recycling company had closed. Is that right?
Is that what they're taking to Spencer?
No, they're Cherokee. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wow, I didn't know Spencer had one.
And now, Doc Dahl and Clifford are talking about trailers.
Well, we'll take one for sure. If you're able to go, and there may be two. There's a good chance.
Clifford's talking about using his pickup, and Doc Dahl would use the trailer. And August 29th is when the next appointment is.
oh,
But because it's summer, there's a lot of cans
Sure.
that have been sorted and need to be sorted, but we're confined by that August 29th date.
yeah.
Here's a Boy Scout trailer too. Go behind my pickup and my husband.
So do we have two trailers then that are going?
We have the one we bought from Murphy's and the Boy Scout trailer.
Oh,
Oh,
good,
okay.
good job.
Talking about taking two trailers.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
That would only work if one of them was a fifth wheel. Then it'd be illegal. You see that all the time.
Clifford's talking about making a train of trailers.
Well, we gotta do something, we're getting full of cans down here.
Yeah, yeah. And right now, I suppose there are sacks, bags of cans and bottles.
I don't know, you gotta ask her. We wouldn't know.
Are you part of it, right?
No,
All right, I got to know.
Well, I can drink your pickup.
well, but we might, we'll have to come up with something.
I'll come up with
They're
something.
still
I'll
discussing
find out if my blood's in
pickups
my leg by
and
that time.
trailers.
I have
We'll see.
about 7 days, or it should be ready to go.
And you've had your surgery, Clifford?
No,
No,
No, not yet.
Well, I keep fighting around with my heart and all that kind of stuff. I got 2 operations coming up. One here and one down here.
Are you having them nearly the same time?
I don't know, we're gonna find out, we're gonna let one in this place here.
Clifford's talking about upcoming surgeries.
Oh, man, that's too bad.
He has one scheduled for next week, and that's your leg, his leg.
Oh, wow.
And then he has
I
another
got a plug
one.
up in here, so they gotta go through and put a extension in there.
Any other old business?
We're not loading up.
we never did that.
We didn't do Greg. And we have both fellows here. We have our brag master and we have our treasurer. So any brag today?
I just got done. I got paid $1.
Yeah, I have $1. Cliff's from Esmeralda.
Yes.
I won singles and doubles at
Oh my
Sweet
God.
Corn Days.
Took some more money out of Escondido.
They don't pay money.
I don't care. I just give you
oh, congratulations.
congratulations. I give you a little bit.
Doc Dahl is talking about his most recent win at Sac City.
Esterville,
Escondido.
Escondido.
Congratulations.
that way.
That way, 51 miles.
Anything you want to brag about today, Leonard?
Well, I gave another grant out of my huge foundation. Iowa Public TV got my most recent grant.
Oh, can you explain that to us?
Well, I'll tell you all the secrets. You know, all the rich people have a charitable foundation. So I thought I'd do one too, even though I'm not a rich person. I funded this with $500 and got it going. And I'm working on, let's try something. I'm going to share something with you here. Maybe, I hope. How this works.
While you're doing that, let me see if I can turn the volume up.
Okay, because I fine.
Can you use the up and down buttons that you normally use if you do it?
Like on a phone?
FaceTime or something? They're usually on the side. I don't know.
I don't see. Oh, right here.
We have a fellow that does the tech stuff, but he's out of country, so we're kind of.
Yeah, right there. That's
There,
that's.
okay.
I think it might have already been all the way up though.
I've even got myself confused now.
Yeah,
Can you see that green dinosaur? Nope.
Can hear him better though.
not yet.
A little bit.
Oh, now we see the picture of the Rialto
Yeah, there's the green dinosaur I want to buy. With other people.
Dinosaur.
up here. It's like a sculpture.
Oh, I see. Okay.
16-holder bike rack. I'm looking for $20 a head from 250 people. And we're starting to get a few takers, so it's going well.
That's the dinosaur.
That's the dinosaur.
Can a person contribute online?
You bet.
That's the dinosaur.
Go to
there.
olsonfamilyfund.com
Okay.
and then there's right here, click on this
It's
link
the sculpture right in
Oh my
front.
goodness, I see it. Cool.
and I'll
Oh,
show you a little more.
Who does that come from? Who makes that?
It
Whoops.
changed.
It comes from, well, Brian Dewey's got a dealership for it.
Oh,
Okay.
it's right here.
Yep.
Now, this is the one we've tried twice before and we're unsuccessful. So I thought I'd take it by the horns.
Okay, give us that website again for donations.
It's called olsonfamilyfund.com. Let's try something else.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and you can, let me, there's another thing I can do here. Hold on if I find it. A lot of icons. Yeah, it's wonderful on a PC. Okay, can you see that?
It's coming. Yeah, we can see that.
I'm writing with a mouse. I'm not very good.
Oh, that's fine. He's writing his website that we can contribute. It's Olson Family
Fun.
Fund,
.com.
not farm, fund. Mary, do you want to go ahead with your Greg Hawkins writing?
There, did that come across?
Yep.
Yep, we see it. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Oh, I just got done.
We outdid ourselves this time in the blood drive. We got 44 finds, which is about 9 more than we generally got.
Mary's bragging about the blood drive that it was 90 units, did you say?
44.
44 units.
44 units.
Good job.
Yeah,
We were very,
Congratulations.
yes,
and the company was very pleased with us too.
yes, they had good things to say about
Yeah.
Pocahontas site.
Yes. And furthermore, the Pocahontas Rotary got credit for putting the supply and everything for the drive. So,
Thank you for doing that for us.
Mary.
Yeah.
Hand that over to you.
And Mary, you can submit a bill for that ad. Because we are.
Oh, don't worry about that.
We should be paying for that.
Donations, don't worry about it.
That's fine.
It's fine. We'll pay for it.
Okay, so now I'd like to introduce our guest speakers, unless you had something else to add, Leonard?
I don't know if you heard me last time. They're starting another foundation to fix up Princess Park. And I told you about that?
No?
That's, from, I started rabble rousing after those Spencer people couldn't get a wheelchair up to a picnic table. And one thing I think I told you, you're familiar with Brenda Verba. Anyway, Margot's got them started with a committee advised fund now. So we got another charitable foundation growing in this town.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah, you
So
can
it
help
could
them
be.
out too.
Yes, I know the Hometown Pride Committee is very excited about that.
Yep, that's another
Having
nice thing we're
access to
doing here.
the- Yeah, and they're gonna start with, a path that will be handicap accessible to the cabin and to the restroom.
Good.
And then they'll be able to see the murals that are to the east of the restroom cabin.
Oh, I'll be able to enjoy it too. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And now Rachel, tell us about Ryla.
Well, it was a great experience. Like, I was so nervous when I first went there, because I'm like a pretty shy person, so like getting put with different people that I have no idea who they are for a week, that was really different. And I ended up getting really, really close with all of my team members. We all still talk and everything. Made a lot of new friends, found out that I had a lot in common with other people. We did a lot of team building activities that required a lot of trust. I remember one of them, it was like a spider web that was in between two trees. And we had to find a way to get each other through all of the holes in the web, but we couldn't use the same hole twice. So we're lifting people through and like carrying them through the holes and everything, and just counting on them to not drop us. So that was pretty fun. They had a lot, like all of the other teams, everyone was just so nice. Like I got there and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to give you a hug. I need to give you a hug. And I'm like, what's going on? Because everyone was just giving me hugs. So yeah. We did a lot of things to where we had to really open ourselves up, like to things that probably like we wouldn't normally talk about and everything. And everyone was just so open and understanding. Like it was so weird because everyone was just fine with it. Like there was no judging. There was nothing like that. It was really good. Like I had never experienced. Noah Herman. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you notice quite a change in him afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think that's what they say when really did it, that kind of thing, we have to tell?
Yeah, because it really like changed my personality because I've never been one to talk about anything like that. And then I was just like so open about it at the end, and like it was really different, but good. But like going back to the thing to where everyone was just so open, I remember like every time there was this one time we were doing this activity where you didn't say anything, they'd read off situation or like, and you would go up, like if you experienced that situation, and then you would tell about it, like you'd tell like what you never want to be said about you or what, or stuff like that. And like, there was this guy next to me and he just started crying and I'm like, so I just walked up to him and I gave him a huge hug. No idea who this guy was. No idea. But like, I just like felt the need to do that. And like, I had someone do that for me. Like someone just walked up to me and like just held my hand the whole time. And I'm like, it was weird, but like it was just different. I've never experienced something like that. But the activities that we did, they were really like challenging because like there would just be times where randomly our counselor would be like, oh, only this person can talk, or you have to speak a different language, or you just have to do this, and you had to adapt to those changes like right away. And I remember there was this one activity. It was called the helium ruler or something, and everyone had to put 2 fingers underneath of a ruler, and everyone had to keep their fingers touching it, and we had to lower it to the ground. Well, if everyone's pushing up on it to keep their fingers underneath of it, then it goes up and up and up. And I remember we were getting so frustrated. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. Like it was really bad, and we're like, what is the point of this? There better be a point to this. Oh my gosh. And then we finally figured out a way that it would work for us. Like one side would go down and the other side would go down, and then we just kind of figured out what worked for us. And then we finally got it down, like to the ground and everything, and our counselor was like, that was amazing. Like you guys just like went from wanting to rip each other's heads off to being able to work together as a team like that. So yeah, it was really like challenging, but like, and like everyone in my group, everyone was so different. There was this one girl, and her name was Sky, and I swear I knew her from somewhere. She looked so familiar to me, and to this day, I still do not know how I knew her, but somehow I did.
Oh,
I thought someone was
like it's
knocking.
already said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just made a lot of new friends, and like everyone in my group, everyone had different viewpoints on everything, and we like talked. And like our end of the day sessions, we just sit there and we just talk, and yeah.
You want to leave.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to leave. Like,
Tell us about your schedule. What time did you get up and what did you do?
well, we were up we had morning activities at 7:00 in the morning.
But tell them how you wake up.
We're in our dorms, and at 6:45, the counselors run through blaring music, pounding on the doors, banging pots and pans. Literally, I'm not kidding. They were banging pots and pans. And they were yelling, good morning, good morning, good morning. They'd sit there and be like, good morning, good morning. And I'm like, it's too early for this. And all the counselors were just so energetic in the morning. And before the activities, the people that were up, we'd sit there and we'd do like, it was like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, but it was like, I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. And I'm like, gosh. And like, they really were like, they were ready to go at 6:45 in the morning. And I'm like, but yeah. And then we had morning activities until 7:30. Then we had breakfast. And then we went to the main building and we had like a speaker or whatever. And then we did some activities, ate lunch at around 12:30, I think. Did some team activities, but some we like split up into like groups of like with different people, like not in our group. And then we do that for a little while, and then we would finally come back with our group and do some activities. And then we would eat supper probably at around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Speakers, then, what would be their topic?
They mainly talked about the 4 main, like, I can't remember what they were. Yeah, I can't remember what they were, but it was like 4 main, like, words, like, that went through, like, each day, and they talked about it. We had politicians come in, we had, just, like, really inspirational people come in, and they were all so different. Like, there was nothing similar about them. Like, they were just all very different.
And what you're referring to, I think, is the word of focus.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's twice a day, and
Yep.
those little speeches are given by the counselors and the Rotarians.
Yeah.
Maybe Rotarians didn't in your group.
No, the Rotarians didn't. The counselors did.
And
Yeah,
it was
they
a
were
word that
so-
was meaning.
They were so eye-opening. Like, they were telling stories, and like you look at someone and you don't think that they went through that, but then you look at them a certain way, and then when you find out what they went through, you look at them a different way. Like, it's so different. Like, you never expect, like, oh, this person doesn't act like this happened to them, but it did. And like, it was different. It was really like surreal, because if I glance at that person in public, I'd be like, oh, they're this way.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I actually like talked to them and like got to know them, I'm like, oh, they're completely different. It was really weird. But yeah, my counselor, he did a word of focus, and oh my whole team was sitting there crying, and we're just like, oh my gosh. His name was Ben. So I'm like, oh my goodness, Benny Boo, why do you have to do that to me? Like,
He really touched your heart.
yes, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine having anyone else as a counselor. And we did warm fuzzies, and that was when you make a little bag and people can like write you notes. And like I would just get notes from random people, like they didn't even sign their name. It would just be like, "You're amazing," and I just find them in my bag. I didn't know who put them there or anything. Yeah, I get one. I got one from another counselor that was like, "You're amazing. I hear so much about you," because apparently they talk about us and stuff. So yeah, like so whatever. Like I'm feeling down, I'll just go and I'll read my warm fuzzies and like.
And you brought them home?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Brought
Yeah.
them home.
For me, the surprising thing is that those counselors have so much pep and energy in the morning,
I know.
but after all of the students go back to the dorm, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then the counselors have a meeting that
They stay
lasts an
up.
hour.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
stay up.
And they talk about how things went that day and how plans for the next day. So they don't get too much sleep.
And there was one thing that I absolutely could not stand. They would not tell us the time.
Yeah.
We were not allowed to know the time. We were not allowed to know our schedules. I would ask, oh, how much time do we have left? Oh, 3 bananas. 3 watermelons. I'm like, that's not gonna help me.
You're so organized, so
I
that's always
was.
important to you.
Yes.
And what about watches and cell phones?
Nope. Nothing. Like the clocks that were in our rooms, like our wrap rooms,
Mhm.
they covered them. We weren't allowed to know the time at all. But my Rotarian, sometimes I would I would be talking to him and I just randomly slip in there, hey, what time is it? And he'd not realize it and tell me, and then he'll be like, oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well.
What was your favorite activity of those challenges?
My favorite activity is probably the spider web challenge. Yeah.
We get the body through the web.
Yeah, for the younger children, for young Ryla, the web is not vertical, it's horizontal. So they don't go through it, but they have to step on various places.
Actually, one of my first couple years here, staff from the school went to the camp down south, and we had to do a version of that as adults too. It was fun, but it was different.
Yeah.
So that's a neat activity for any age,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, we really had to strategize with that because we had to have the guys stay on one side, or like people were different sizes, so we'd be like, oh, well, this person can go through this one, and then this person can go through that one, and everything. And we were down to the last person, and they touched the web, and they had to start all over. It was awful.
I do have silver, guys, so.
Okay.
I know Helen's getting. I got it in my hand now.
Yes, I see that. Thank you.
When you get all that done,
Burrito. Burrito. Helen, right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And
And I'll
silverware.
get your dinner
And transportation worked out okay?
Yes.
Good.
Any other sense of where staking out now?
thank you.
How many teams total were there?
There was 15 teams,
Mhm. And how many on a team?
probably anywhere from 10. There's a lot.
I couldn't hear that. How many teams?
15 teams and like 10 to 15 people on each team.
250 students, yeah. And then for each team, you want to explain who leads the teams?
It's a counselor and a Rotarian. and you're assigned a letter of the alphabet. I was team R, and you were assigned a color, and like that was like your color or whatever. So like, and mine was red. So it was, we had to like, we made a flag, and we had to like make a chant and everything. And we had to do a skit about like, yeah. In our skit, we just imitated a bunch of counselors. Like we grabbed their personalities and we just imitated them.
Wow. That took some thought.
Yeah.
You had to study them. And how about the food?
Okay. It was good. Yeah. I liked the ice cream and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really liked that. A girl in my group, she had ice cream after every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Even breakfast you
Even
could get it?
breakfast.
Wow.
It's dairy.
Yeah. But
How is that available? You get to pick your own food from a buffet line or what?
yeah, there's like 5 different buffet lines.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you feel full? Like when you went to bed at night, were you hungry then?
No, because we had snacks in our wrap rooms that I would sneak back into my dorm rooms. Get a late night snack.
Yeah. Any questions for Rachel?
You seem very grown up now, different than you were.
Oh.
You're just, and I don't know her perfectly, but she's more grown up and more at ease with herself than she was before.
Yeah.
I think if we think back to when we did the interview, she was one of the quietest ones that was there and wouldn't talk that much. So trying to get an answer out of her was nothing like this. So, I mean, you can just see a big, huge change in her now from when she did the interview.
What's your mother think about it when you come home?
She was like,
You talk more to her? Or
yeah, I'm more open.
open to her?
Yeah. She was like, you're not leaving me for that long again. And I'm like, college, mom, college.
Did you tell her that's gonna be a problem next fall?
Yeah, I did. I was like, well, I don't know what you're gonna do next fall. 'Cause
Any other questions for Rachel? I agree. I think you're much more self-assured, confident. Yeah. Well, Leonard, I think we'll eat our lunch then.
Okay. Well, we had a way better experience technology-wise. This works so much better. Whatever you did right, Helen.
Well, it's the teacher.
Ah, okay. I'll go with that. I'll sure.
Okay, thanks for the tutoring session.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you're very welcome. Good to see everybody. I'll close the meeting. Bye, Doc. But I'll be recording this and I'll put this on the website then.
Oh, my.
So
Rachel, you'll be famous.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. See ya.
Thanks, Leonard.
Bye.